Hi guys, welcome to Inish, and welcome to the Community Food Initiative. My name is John McDay. I'm the chef and owner of Inish. So I've been asked by Inish Development Partnership and Mafalda Resource Centre to do a few demonstrations online. Normally I would do them in the restaurant here, but obviously with everything and we're decided to do it this way. So hopefully you will receive your food packs and you'll receive little ingredient booklets as well with the recipes, and I'll run through it and you can keep coming back and having a look at how I would do these things. So the first week what we're going to be doing is some homemade brown bread and some potato and leek soup. Now the way that I would demonstrate things is make it simple for everybody. You can always add, you can always take away ingredients you don't like. But the first thing that I demonstrate is homemade wheaten bread. Okay, so if you have your ingredients there, you can follow through and keep doing it with me, or you can play back every time. So all it is the simple little recipe is 250 of wholemeal brown bread flour, plain flour, some oats for dressing, you'll see what I mean later, eggs and buttermilk, and 2 tablespoons of bread soda. And that's how simple it is. So basically I have the ingredients here, weighed out and all. So first you put all your dry ingredients in to a bowl. Your soda as well. Give that a mix. Yeah. Just mix it all up. It's very simple. You can use a spoon as well if you like, but I prefer to do it with my hands. Make sure your hands are washed. And then the wet ingredients, I always add into a little mixing bowl or jug. So 2 eggs, just like that, and some buttermilk, which is, I think it's 500. Yep, mix them 2 together. As you can see, this is very quick and easy. Just give that all a mix, the egg and the buttermilk. Add it in to your flour. And you can mix it with a spoon, but I once again do it with my hands. And what you're looking for is a nice sloppy consistency. I think I've wrote that in my little recipe. I prefer it nice and wet if possible. So just keep mixing, and you want a nice sloppy mixture, and that's it. Now this will do a 2-pound cake tin, or loaf tin, sorry, or 2 1-pound. So I'm just going to put it into my tin. Just move these out of my way. And the oats that I had mentioned earlier on, just on top, to give it that body finish when it comes out of the oven. And these should take about 30 minutes in an oven, under 80 degrees, I think, in the recipe, yeah. And that's everything. So I'll just put them in the oven now. Hi guys, so brown bread's all in the oven now in the kitchen, and now what we're going to do is do our potato and leek soup, which I always give people this recipe. It's simple, easy to do, and most people have this kind of stuff at home. An onion, a leek, a few potatoes, and I have OXO vegetable cubes here. You can use any, you can use the little stock pods. Whatever you choose to use, you can use at home, okay? It's not, it has to be this or that. So what you do is, the first thing you really do is boil your kettle if you want, or you can boil water, which I have here. is just boil water and then add in your vegetable stock pots or your cubes, just to let the flavour get in, okay? Some people do make their own. Here in the restaurant we would make our own, but for this, making it at home, it's as good as any restaurant, okay? So the first thing you do is an onion. So you just dice your onion. Just about half an onion, okay? And you can look, you can chop it as rough or as fine as you want, because at the end of this I'm going to show you, you can keep it chunky, or ideally you can use a little liquidizer to make it nice and smooth so you have no lumps. Some people like lumps, some people don't. So I'm just going to put the onions in there, and the next then you would chop up your leeks, but I have some here already chopped up. So about 1 leek, okay? And that's that prepared. Then the next thing is your potatoes. So 4 or 5 potatoes, and just chop them up nice and small, because this is the kind of soup it'll take you about 15-20 minutes to make at home. So you're not waiting for hours. So the smaller your potatoes, the quicker it'll cook. Okay, so just going to chop all this up. A lot of restaurants will usually have potato and leek soup or vegetable soup. So you could do your vegetable soup the same way as what I'm doing here, only obviously add your carrots and all the vegetables in there. So guys, that's the potatoes all chopped up pretty small. Warm pan with a little bit of oil, olive oil preferably, and you heat it up. And then I always tell people when they're cooking, make sure you hear a bit of a sizzle like that. Hopefully you can hear that at home. And that just gets it cooking straight away. Simple done. So what we're doing is looking to release all the flavours of the leek and onion. Now if you were in the restaurant, you could smell this. It's actually amazing straight away. The smell of the leek and onion is amazing. So what we're trying to do is cook this out for 2 or 3 minutes. And what you're doing is softening the leeks, letting out all the flavours, and that's basically it. And at this stage I always add just a little bit of salt, and something you'll hear me saying a lot on these, and when I'm doing classes I do it all the time, is you can always add, but you can't take away. It's one of the first things I ever did at catering college. So just be careful when you're adding any ingredients. So look, that's the leeks and onions nearly ready in the pan. So then what we'll be doing is adding our potatoes. So just going to add in my potatoes. At this point then, you're ready to add in your stock. And this recipe actually, you know, I say it feeds 4, but you'll get quite a lot out of this little pot of soup. And all we do now is bring it to the boil and then simmer it for about 15 minutes. And mostly potato and leek soup doesn't need thickened, because the starch in the potatoes usually makes it nice and thick and creamy. But if it does, I always recommend people putting in thickening with a little bit of corn flour. And the reason why I would use corn flour, and I use a lot of it in the restaurant, is in case somebody has any flour gluten allergies. So it's gluten free. Hopefully you'll find this, you'll do it, and it is really simple. As you can see, it basically took me 4 or 5 minutes, and this isn't me also editing, this is us just doing it. Okay, so enjoy. The bread just out of the oven, so it should come out easy enough as long as you have greased them. and just sit them on a wire rack. If you struggle to get them out, just go around with maybe a little palette knife or even a wee knife, just to loosen it. I'm not sure if you can see the steam coming off the bread on the shop. If that's your bread, that is 2 pound loaf tin, or that is 2 1 pound loaf tins. And as you can see, it's plenty of bread to do a family, 4 or 5 people, lovely with butter, and hopefully you enjoy it when you make it yourselves. That's the soup now after 15-20 minutes, so I'm just going to put it out without blending it first, so hopefully you can see the difference. Some people like it with the little chunks in it, and hopefully you can see, which is perfect. It'll be lovely with a nice your brown bread as well. Alright guys, as I say, some people have blenders, some people don't. I prefer it blended. So all I'm going to do is use little handheld. Most people have them, and I'm going to blend it now, okay? So that's it blended, as you see. It only takes 20 seconds to blend, and I'm just going to put it in the bowl so you can see what it's like. And that with some butter on your brown bread, you can't ask for better than that. So that is the potato leek soup done slightly both ways. If you don't want to blend it, don't worry. And the blended stuff and the brown bread. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed it, and any questions you can let me know.